Mark, thanks for 5 minutes with Julian.
Thanks, mate.
I think we're all ready for this one. This is a personality that we've been waiting to see, so thanks for joining us.
I'll try and bring some.
Can we just go back a little bit, so years and years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe something like 60 years ago to where it all started and how we got to Mark Restaurant.
You know, I think it's pretty well documented that I was an electrician, late starter.
Yep.
Gold from the gold mines of Western Australia to submarines of Cockatoo Island, and then into cooking. So
Wow.
yeah, so pretty poor preparation for a fine dining chef, but here we are.
While you were working out what you wanted to do, were you one that would always cook at home, or did it just light bulb switch that you wanted to be a chef?
No, I think, you know, I'm a country guy. You know, parents was growing up mostly in South Australia, so you know, it was just a practical thing. Pre-internet days, you know, and just food was just a practical thing, and I think there was some beauty and some art to it when you're living that sort of rural life, and especially in the Barossa Valley and things. And even to a certain extent, you know, my other grandparents lived up in the Murray Mallee, wheat and sheep farmers.
Oh wow!
And you know, I've always been around food in that way. I've always been interested in architecture and design, and we spent all our money on an architect at Mark. And we got more excited about the design than the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
And produced this incredible space, and we had to then retrofit my menu to this amazing space. That's how it became a fine dining restaurant. The brief was to be just a simple bistro, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, much more famous than that. Training, I would have thought, was a big part of the time that you spent to develop your people and train your people.
Yeah, teaching and training and mentoring is a big part of the business, and it's a way to keep excellence within your business, to retain staff and give something back to them. They work very, very hard, and if you're not training your staff properly, then you're a fool, because they're the lifeblood of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I always remember one specific product when it relates to Mark.
Yeah.
I need 100 parsnips, but they need to be a certain diameter.
I know, the bane of your life.
That's it. So talk to us a little bit about...
I delegated all the art. I delegated that process. Otherwise, we'd be buying 100 boxes of...
Exactly.
I think you're a better position to be able to sort through them than we were.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had an outlet for the remainder that weren't to the exact millimetre. Do you want to just even talk a little bit about the industry and how laborious fine dining is, and how that you think has changed what we're doing in the future?
I think everyone knows who's in the restaurant industry that, you know, there are some very large challenges coming forward. I mean, competition is one, but there's always been competition, and that keeps prices down, that suppresses prices. So the other part of the equation is that prices are going up, and so you're just constantly your margin is being squeezed between these two, you know, hard places. But labour is probably the biggest cost. Everyone always says straight away, oh, the rent. It's never the rent, but for me, I think it's about probably a paradigm shift in what we're serving and how we serve it, how we produce it, to keep the labour costs down, and perhaps technology can step in and take over.
Mark, so let's talk a little bit about life after Mark.
Long-time ambassador for AEG, domestic appliances with Electrolux, Houseman, Judy Houseman, fabulous person, fabulous friend, so big support, and so supporting their products, and Dream Cruise Line. So that's now 3 years and 3 ships. So now we have the World Dream out of Hong Kong, the Genting is in Singapore, and we've just launched the Explorer Dream out of Shanghai. So I was there a couple of weeks ago. We did a big gala event for 400 people cooking Shanghainese cuisine for a Shanghainese audience, which is pretty stressful, I can tell you, because they're a tough audience.
Are they?
Yeah, tough but fair. Okay. Anyway, the exciting thing is the Explorer Dream is now coming down to Australian waters in October, going up and down the coast from the Gold Coast down to Hobart, and then across to New Zealand, going through all of the sounds. Was quite a beautiful itinerary. So it's a beautiful ship, and
So we find you cooking on the ship?
you will. Yeah, I've got a gorgeous space up on the top deck, al fresco space. We've got the best view in the house, and use Blackmore's beef and oysters from Ewan McCash. Hopefully Parisi fine greens and fruit and vegetables.
And going forward, if there's ever any special events, i.e. catering for special groups of 12 people, you know, at
Well,
$10,000 a
I
pop.
did your bar mitzvah, I'll do your wedding, anything you want.
Good man, mate. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thank
Thanks,
you very
mate.
much.
Good on you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.